In the annals of British industrial history, few figures loom as large as Joseph Cyril Bamford. When he founded JCB in a small lock-up garage in Uttoxeter back in 1945, he brought more than just a welding torch and a collection of war surplus axles to the table. He brought a philosophy, and he encapsulated that relentless ethos in a favourite French phrase that became the official corporate guiding light. Jamais content. Never content, never satisfied. For a manufacturer, that mindset is the ultimate driver of progress. It's an acknowledgement that complacency is the first step toward obsolescence. In the engineering office, being permanently unsatisfied is a noble virtue. It means that the moment a machine rolls off the production line, the team is already questioning how to make the next one lighter, safer, faster, stronger, and more efficient. It's the reason a company can grow from modifying agricultural trailers into a global powerhouse whose name is literally enshrined in the Oxford English Dictionary. Continuous improvement requires a healthy dose of professional dissatisfaction. When applied to research and development, Jamais content is an engine of innovation. It forces designers to obsess over hydraulic pressures, structural integrity, and ergonomic perfection. It means striving to reduce emissions, lower fuel consumption, and push the boundaries of what a piece of yellow iron can achieve on a modern job site. In an ideal world, this unrelenting pursuit of perfection would be met with universal acclaim from the people who actually buy and operate the machinery. But the construction industry is far from an ideal world. The great irony of modern equipment manufacturing is that Jamais content has morphed and mutated. It's escaped the shiny research laboratories of Staffordshire and infected the hearts and minds of equipment owners, site managers, and even more so, operators across the land. However, where the manufacturer uses dissatisfaction as a catalyst for brilliance, the end user uses it as a default setting for relentless, unyielding whinging. A manufacturer spends millions of pounds and countless hours developing a brand new excavator or a backhoe loader. The engineering team unveils a marvel of modern technology. The engine meets the most stringent environmental standards on Earth while delivering more torque than its predecessor. The cab is a masterpiece of ergonomics, boasting an air-conditioned environment quieter than a monastic library, a seat that adjusts to the operator's precise lumbar requirements, and full Bluetooth connectivity. It is, by any objective metric, the finest mobile office in all of Christendom. Yet the moment the machine arrives on site, the grand corporate philosophy of Jamais content is mirrored perfectly by the man in the high-vis jacket. The operator climbs into this high-tech sanctuary, looks around, and immediately lets out a heavy, world-weary sigh. The engine is a triumph of clean air technology. Brilliant. But someone will immediately moan about the AdBlue tank filler neck being positioned at a slightly awkward angle. The cab is blissfully quiet. Terrible news, because now they can hear every rattle of the loose change in their pocket. And besides, the new digital touchscreen is bound to get smudged by greasy fingers within 10 minutes. The obsession with minutiae on the modern site truly is a sight to behold. You can deliver a machine that represents a quantum leap forward in operator safety, featuring all-round camera systems that offer bird's-eye views of the working area, radar detection for pedestrians, and automatic braking functions. It's a vehicle designed to ensure every single person on site goes home safely at the end of the shift. And what's the feedback? on the ground? I don't like the seatbelt. It matters not that the seatbelt is part of a sophisticated interlocking safety system designed to save their life in a rollover. To the seasoned critic, the webbing feels a fraction too stiff, or it's not quite the same as the one they had on their previous machine. The fact that the machine can practically dig a trench by itself is completely overshadowed by a deeply held personal grievance against a piece of nylon strap. The same tragicomedy plays out with cabin storage. Designers spend months packaging complex electrical architectures and climate control systems into the tight confines of the upper structure, managing to preserve a panoramic view of the bucket. They proudly announce a 20% increase in glass area for unparalleled visibility. The operator, however, climbs inside and discovers that while they have a flawless view of the deep trench they're digging, there's insufficient room behind the seat to store a massive, mud-encrusted duffel bag containing 3 spare coats, a 4-litre bottle of squash, and a lunchbox big enough to feed a family of 4. The verdict is swift and brutal. This machine is completely unworkable. This culture of permanent dissatisfaction becomes particularly scathing when manufacturers attempt to tackle the genuine, real-world issues of health, safety, and accessibility. Take the recent trend toward advanced access systems. Recognizing that slips, trips, and falls during ingress and egress remain one of the leading causes of sight injuries, manufacturers have begun designing beautifully engineered, retractable, low-level steps. These systems allow operators to step into the new machine safely, reducing strain on their knees and their ankles, and ensuring that those who might be less able-bodied can still operate safely and comfortably. To any rational observer, this is a magnificent advancement. To the hardened sight traditionalist, it's an open invitation for ridicule. That criticism splits into 2 equally pessimistic camps. The pragmatists will immediately declare that the retractable steps are just something else to smash off on day 2. They'll argue that the entire mechanism is far too clever for its own good and will inevitably fail the moment it encounters 3 inches of thick British clay. Meanwhile, the old school philosophers will dismiss the steps as a definitive sign that the entire industry has gone soft. They'll look back wistfully to the days when climbing into a cab involved scaling a vertical wall of greasy steel lattice while holding a fag in one hand and a grease gun in the other. To them, ergonomics is a dirty word and comfort is a betrayal of the true gritty nature of muck shifting. And perhaps the most contentious battleground in this war of perpetual dissatisfaction is the introduction of advanced driver aids and automation. Today's machines are packed with grade control systems, automatic bucket leveling functions, and payload monitoring systems that calculate the exact weight of every load to prevent overloading a dump truck. These tools are designed to maximize productivity, reduce wear and tear on the machine, and turn a decent operator into a highly efficient asset. While some forward-thinking fleet owners welcome these advancements with open arms, a vocal and deeply defensive contingent of operators views them with absolute disdain. To these individuals, a digital assistant is not a tool, it's a direct insult to their personal craftsmanship. They look at a grade control screen and see a machine trying to tell them how to do the job they've been doing by eye since the late 1980s. They'll deliberately turn the systems off, proudly proclaiming that they don't need a computer to tell them where the level is. Ultimately, Joe Bamford was entirely correct. A manufacturer must never be satisfied. They must continue to innovate, to push the boundaries, and to install the quietest cabs, the most efficient engines, and the smartest safety systems that modern engineering can devise. But they must also accept a harsh, unyielding truth. No matter how brilliant the machine, no matter how much thought has gone into the placement of every single switch and air vent, the industry will always be populated by people who view perfection as a personal challenge. The plant world has adopted Jamais content as its official religion, but they've rewritten the gospel. For the manufacturer, it means their job is never done. For the operator, it means the moaning is never, ever finished.